There are billions of colors in nature, and I'm combining them all into one singular ecosystem. It'll be packed with the most jaw-dropping plants you've never seen before, bright orange isopods that recycle waste, and an electric blue day gecko who rules at the top of the food chain. Every color in this tank will have a job, and together they'll form a living rainbow. Oh, and if this fails, I'm eating this cricket. Anyway, let's get started. The first step to building a real ecosystem is the background, because if the habitat sucks, the whole rainbow collapses. So yeah, no pressure. After laying down the expanding foam, I quickly added these plant pots so the background would explode with color later. Then I hit it with another layer of foam to lock everything in place. To be sure this background doesn't look fake and ugly, I'm throwing dirt and sphagnum moss all over the foam to give it that natural forest vibe. Then I tried adding this bamboo as a cool final touch, but the foam was already hardening, so I just shoved it straight into the background and prayed it stuck. Now it's time to add the first real burst of color, this green moss. It may look dead now, but after a spray down and some time, it'll spread across the entire background, bringing this ecosystem to life. After a few final touches, the background is finally complete. I let the ecosystem sit overnight so everything could harden into place. I flipped the tank over and yeah, half of my cool designs are now on the floor. You guys still like it though, right? I'd say it's definitely not bad for my first time using spray foam. Now let's add the roots of this build with the drainage layer, which of course keeps mold away and gives the plants we'll add later a perfect foundation to thrive. Like I mentioned earlier, this isn't just any ecosystem, it's going to be the most colorful ever. So not only do I have to build a thriving ecosystem from complete scratch, I have to combine 100 colors all into the same enclosure. Because if I don't, I'm going to have to eat that cricket. So without wasting any time, I tried adding this window screen to the tank until I realized it was not to size at all. So I cut it down with some scissors and then put it together in the tank like it was some kind of puzzle. So hey, it may not look the best, but it works for keeping the substrate up. For the base of our substrate, I just added some dirt, sphagnum moss to keep everything extra moist, and this carpet moss that honestly just adds some color. After I mixed it together and then shaped it exactly how I wanted it. Oh yeah, I added some dry leaves too. Now let's get to work on the hardscape, which definitely won't be anything too crazy because we need a lot of room for the colorful plants we're adding next. Around the enclosure, I lit out a piece of cork, spider wood, and even some bamboo to add variety and make sure everything looked way more natural. And just like that, the base of our ecosystem is finally prepped, which means we can officially add the very first plants to this ecosystem. These aren't just any plants either. I selectively chose them all to be the most colorful. Every organism we add from this point forward brings us one step closer to building the world's most colorful ecosystem. So yeah, let's not waste any time. This is a croton plant, and it's quite literally 4 colors in one. People call it Joseph's coat because it looks like a rainbow exploded on it, which makes it perfect for this ecosystem. We've added 5 colors so far, but don't let that fool you. There are actually 8 more colors already in this setup. They may not look pretty, but they're necessities that will help this ecosystem thrive. So here is a Cryptanthus bettygreen. Its name actually means hidden flower, and it's just the first of 3 Earthstar bromeliads I'm adding to this ecosystem. They obviously get that Earthstar name from their epic star-shaped design. Oh boy, this is another Cryptanthus, otherwise known as the red barren Cryptanthus. It's got this insane mix of light pink to deep pink and this almost pasty looking green that fades from dark to light. Absolutely stunning. And as if these Cryptanthus couldn't get any cooler, they actually bud flowers, which basically tarnishes that hidden flower name and makes the plant even more colorful than it already is. This next plant actually has a special characteristic to it. You see these things right here, well, they're root hairs. And unlike the other plants I've shown so far in the video, this prayer plant actually has developed an adaptation to grow a ton of them, which allows them to, you guessed it, absorb much more water. All right, boys and girls, it's the next day, and you might be thinking it's time to work on the background, but you'd be dead wrong, because it's actually time to add our first animal to the enclosure, which are these isopods. And no, I didn't just get any boring old isopods. I got 3 of the coolest cultures I could find to add to the ecosystem. To kick us off, we have these Oreo isopods, which come in various markings and patterns and overall just add some crazy pop to the ecosystem. Alright, now for a more colorful isopod. These are orange creamsicle isopods, and like the Oreos, they too come in tons of various patterns, which quite honestly are probably the most jaw-dropping in the entire world. And last but certainly not least, we have these panda isopods, who quite literally have the exact same pattern as a real-life panda bear. As you can see, some of them are definitely darker than others, with some even being a caramel-like brown. We've added all of the isopods into the enclosure, and I'm sure they'll take care of any waste that comes their way. Now, while it's hard to say how many exact colors we just added to the enclosure, I'd estimate it was somewhere around 22. But don't forget, our cleanup crew isn't fully prepared yet, because we need to add these tiny critters whose favorite food is, well, mold. Springtails. With the cleanup crew complete, we can officially move on to the background. For the background, I got these 3 smaller plants and this absolutely massive bromeliad, until I realized it was about the size of the entire enclosure. So without further ado, let's add this Sansevieria to the tank. The fascinating thing about this plant is that it is actually highlighted by NASA as one of the top air purifying plants. Pretty cool award, bro. Now that we've added 5 more colors to the enclosure, we can move on to our next plant. Here is our 3rd and final Cryptanthus of the video. I'm not too sure which species this is, but my best guess is that it's just a normal red. Pretty cool. And lastly, for the final plant of the entire ecosystem, we have this stunning gold dust croton, which ties the whole build together. With steps 3 and 4 complete, we can officially move on to lighting and blank, which I will reveal to you very shortly. But for now, let's just add this plant light to the enclosure. Plant lights are made up of red, blue, and white, which actually helps our plants grow much healthier and stronger, while simulating a night and day cycle. Now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, I have to go to Target for something that'll ensure our ecosystem is the most colorful. For this mini project, I had to get 3 of these paints and 2 of these white poster boards. And yo, on my way out, I told my little brother whatever he touched, I'd buy. If I hadn't spent my life savings on this video, that is. Seriously guys, please subscribe, I'm begging you. Anyways, you already know I checked out in fashion, and when I got home, I swiftly set everything up. If you haven't realized by now, welcome to the Paxton Prince painting show, where I'm going to splatter paint this entire... Yes, this is real. In the middle of splattering the paint onto the canvas, the metal brush part literally flew off the plastic. And no, I do not have another one. So instead, I just used the end of the paintbrush to finish it out, going from purple to orange to teal. Honestly, I think I did a good job for my first time splatter painting. And after the paint dried, I stuck the 2 posters to the tank with this absolutely amazing tape job. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that I added this cork round to the enclosure for some extra coverage for the Electric Blue Day Gecko. Okay, now we can finally add the UVB and basking light, which will basically act as the sun in our ecosystem. Now that we've done all of that, we can officially move on to our second to last task of the entire video, which is adding the prey to the ecosystem. Today, our prey will be flightless fruit flies, or it would have been if I didn't get scammed. Nah, like literally, I could only find 1 fly in the entire cup. I'm not sure where all the other ones went, but we're just gonna have to live with it. Now for our last task, we need to add our show-stopping Electric Blue Day Gecko, which if you didn't know is actually the rarest color in nature. They even have this jaw-dropping yellow belly, which means he will be our 100th color. The purpose of this video was to teach you that in nature, color isn't just for beauty. It's what every creature relies on to survive. So the next time you see a butterfly in nature, I challenge you to put that into perspective. If you made it to the end, you are a real one. This is my 4th video and we are just getting started.